Well, loyal listeners, this is it, our final broadcast together. But I won't be going too far away. I'll be traveling 3,000 kilometers to the west. You can still find me just a little higher up on your FM dial with my new national call-in show titled, You Have Got to Be Kidding Me! But I just wanted to thank you for calling in over the years with your stories and yarns, your compliments and your complaints, and above all, your good company. This is Sally Brown signing off, hoping that your hard times, well, they get a little better.
And we're clear.
Oh, we did it. We are out of here. Seasons, Andrea. We are going to be in a place with seasons.
I'm not coming with you.
What are you talking about?
I'm not sure I'm the producer for you anymore.
You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah, that's a catchy title. I don't even know if I know how to do what it is you want to do.
So you're just going to stay here in this dead-end job and in this dead-end province. That's your big life choice for the day?
I have just as many reasons for staying as you have for going.
The votes are being counted, and we'll soon know who the next Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador is. As you can see, I'm standing in front of the establishment in St. John's where the Terra Nova Party will be holding their election night soiree. But I'm being told that Richard O'Byrne is nowhere to be found. I checked with PC headquarters, and much the same. James Callahan is also missing. Both parties are baffled. I hope the new Premier is safe, wherever or whoever he may be.
Safe and sound!
Safe and sound,
We're doing just fine, hey boys!
On a blustery, wet, sloppy old day like today, I'm reminded of the words of Walter Cashin. Blame the Irish. If it wasn't for them fleeing famine and tyranny and settling this godforsaken place, staying over the winter, we'd all be living somewhere with a lot better weather. Here's a field to Athenry. By a lonely prison vault, I heard a young girl calling. Michael, they have taken you away. For your soul.
They probably got the Mounties calling us by now.
Oh my God, I didn't think of that. I'll shoot him a text. No harm in me doing my acceptance speech from Corner Brook, eh?
I think you mean concession.
You're married, right, James?
I was. She's out in BC now. My son's out there as well. I thought of moving myself until you got me wrapped up in this mess.
What happened, if you don't mind my asking?
There's nothing you haven't heard a million times before from all kinds of people. I'm afraid it's nothing new, no new story here. What about your Beth? Did you meet her here?
Well, I knew her from here. She was a couple of years older than me. I was just a little snot-faced boy when we met, small for my age. She was mature, beautiful, brilliantly smart. I honestly think I got my scholarship to Harvard and studied so hard just to impress her. Be smart enough so she'd take notice of me.
It wasn't until much later we started dating.
Harvard?
She was visiting New York. I was having lunch at Cafe Luxembourg, and she walked in, sat down by herself with a book. Breakfast at Tiffany's. I thought I was dreaming. I walked up to her, said hello, She didn't recognize me at first. Then I saw her eyes change. Saw her pick through the scars and pluck out that little snot-nosed boy that she used to know. That's exactly how old I felt in that moment, too. I wish I could say I was a good husband. I loved her, that's for sure. I think she knew that. Anyway, the plan was always to come home together someday.
What kind of cancer was it?
Lung. Stage 4 by the time we found it. Spread to her nodes and then her brain, and that was it. I never thought I'd be doing this part of my life alone, without my Beth. You know, when she was alive, I didn't even buy my own clothes. I was buying a couple of suits for the election, looking through the racks, and I realized I didn't even know what size I was anymore. All the money in the world, all the best doctors. Never enough time. That's why I came home first. I made a donation to the cancer wing at the Health Sciences. State-of-the-art equipment, new facilities.
That was you.
I had thought to start drilling government about bringing private money into healthcare, and I got a look at the finances and thought I'd better start there. What?
You know that Tommy Douglas was voted the greatest Canadian of all time, right?
Why not introduce greater involvement by the private sector to do hospital care and charge for it like they do in other countries? For operations, life-threatening surgeries at least.
Oh, Richard, your capitalist is showing. Don't let them liberal-minded voters you seduce, see?
What's the downside in having these services performed by the private sector with an allocation to accommodate lower-income people?
That kind of thing would never fly in Canada, especially in Newfoundland and Labrador. We're too sensitive to queue jumping.
But James...
You know, the rich would get the treatment at the expense of the poor.
Round the fields of Athenry.
Newfoundlanders here, we might vote usually mostly, for the Liberals or the PCs, but we're a socialist province in our hearts.
So you think the healthcare system is working?
I don't think it's perfect, but it's fair.
What's fair about making people wait years for simple surgeries? Struggling with pain, immobility, chronic issues that we have the resources to fix. There are enough beds, just not enough money to pay the doctors and nurses we need. And with this pandemic, we'll never catch up. You know, most hospitals close surgeries and clinics after 3:30 every day and don't open on weekends unless you're dying. But politicians never seem to have any trouble getting priority treatment. And the rich won't wait in queues, go to the U.S.
Lucky for you.
Yes, you're right. I am lucky, and I would like everyone to be just as lucky. Did you know that the federal government allocates only $40 billion to a health fund it distributes to the provinces, and that's growing at only 3.3% per year, when the actual cost is growing twice as fast? This is especially difficult for the Atlantic provinces that don't have the resources to finance better health care. An increase in just 1% GST would provide the federal government with $8 billion a year towards health care. You know, we have to raise taxes and stop bailing out corporations.
I know the numbers, Richard.
So?
Drink your drink.
All I'm saying is we're getting left behind.
So are you, huh? Can I get another one? So, what would an aggressive medical treatment for our province look like? I mean, what does Newfoundland and Labrador need to get cured, huh?
In the short term, two things. $1.4 billion a year in restitution from the feds.
Restitution? For what?
You said it yourself. Joey took a hit for a unified Canada. He did what he was told and took a bad deal on Churchill Falls. Now it's time to pay up. $1.4 billion is what Newfoundland and Labrador would be making on royalties from Churchill Falls annually. Equalization has comically defined Newfoundland and Labrador as a have province next to BC, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. They've thrown us under the bus again, and it's time to rectify that.
And 2?
The feds either buy Muskrat Falls outright or take full responsibility for the federally guaranteed debt. Either way, rate mitigation is suddenly off the table, and the strain on our debt and the debt of our citizens is relieved. There's no other way. There's no capacity to raise taxes. Debt levels, including Muskrat Falls, will soon approach 80% of the province's GDP. Before the pandemic hit, the highest provincial debt in the nation was 35% of GDP. We can't go on like this. Right now, Newfoundland and Labrador is even borrowing to cover the interest on last year's loans. Electricity prices are due to double this year, and the economy is tanked. This province and its people will never be able to bear the strain of it in this economy. Something's gotta change, James. We need real, lasting change if we're gonna survive.
That's the way she goes by, that's the way she goes. Nothing seems to come our way, no matter how it blows. When our luck is gonna change, the good Lord only knows. We'll just have to wait it out, 'cause that's the way she goes.
The Premier fought for Churchill Falls to get our rightful share, but the folks up there in Ottawa just left us to despair. Our hydro comes from somewhere else, we're paying through the nose. There's not much more that we can do, 'cause that's the way she goes. That's the way she goes by, that's the way she goes. Nothing seems to come our way, no matter how it blows. When our luck is gonna change, the good Lord only knows. We'll just have to wait it out, 'cause that's the way she goes.
Those trawlers come from overseas to fish our fishing grounds. They don't leave much for us to catch by the time they make their round. We've watched our inshore fishery die, more fish plants set to close, while all our fish goes overseas, but that's the way she goes. That's the way she goes by, that's the way she goes. Nothing seems to come our way, no matter how it blows. When our luck is gonna change, the good Lord only knows. We'll just have to wait it out, 'cause that's the way she goes. Bay du Nord is rich with oil, as rich can be. Sitting there 800 miles out in the open sea. We scratch our heads and wonder when the oil is gonna flow. It costs too much to bring ashore, but that's the way she goes. That's the way she goes. Come on now, Richard. Give her. No wonder when they watch the news on TV every day, more and more of our young folks decide to move away. There are no jobs in Newfoundland, and everybody knows you gotta make a living, boy, 'cause that's the way she goes. That's the way she goes by, that's the way she goes. Nothing seems to come our way, no matter how it blows. When our luck is gonna change, the good Lord only knows. We'll just have to wait it out. You'll just have to wait it out. We'll just have to wait it out, 'cause that's the way she goes.
Well, I guess the big-boned lady is at the high F.
It appears so.
Oh my God, I just realized I'm gonna be plopped 15 feet away from your ugly mug every day for the next 4 years. Don't cock it up, because you'll hear about it. Today we drink, tomorrow we're enemies. Well, that's all she wrote, I suppose. For those of you in here tonight that bleed blue, I thank you for your support. For those of you here that bleed yellow, the next 4 years are your fault. We fought hard, but in the end, Richard O'Byrne won, and I wish him and his government all the success and every bit of luck in the world. Because God knows they're going to need it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.